Hey, how's it going? Good evening. This is Coach Ray with the Brownsville Royal Knights, and this is the chess show. And with me tonight, I have Dave that's driving. He's coming back from a movie. He's on his way home, but he wanted to touch base with us right now.
Oh
And so
yeah.
it'll be cool, man. We will have Andrew dropping by. We might have Alan. We might have somebody else. So let's see what happens, and we'll take it from there. So I guess you're driving.
Yeah, I'm on the road right now. Yep.
Dave's on the road again. Da, 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 da. One of those. That's a different show, right? So
Oh,
yeah.
it totally is. Yeah.
Well, let's see what happens, man. Well, cool. Let's look at this. Let's look at. Let me share. Let's start with a puzzle. That's what we're here for, right? We're here for the puzzles. As they are right here, we go. Tire screen and boom, and there we go. Our first puzzle. And let's put a little bit red background behind that, and let's see how that goes. It's white to move. Um, this is a funny one. This is a funny one. But let's see what you guys think of this one. What do you see here? White to move, and let's see what happens.
Okay, give me a second here. To pull
Yeah,
onto the side of the road here.
there you go. Well,
Hold on.
drive home and if you want to,
Yeah, let
and
me pull onto the side of the road here. Oh,
yeah.
so
And we're live on YouTube, guys. You can look on to see it
all
on YouTube.
right.
You can go to the Talk Show Central RTV style YouTube channel, and it'll be playing there. If not, you can see us on the Brownsville Royal Knight page. You can also see it on my personal page. And I think Andrew is screaming it on his page, and so is Dave. And so this is being shared multiple times. So, guys, you can always come back and see it. But Merry Christmas, guys! And here's the first puzzle. Andrew, how you doing? Welcome to the show. And what do we see here? White to move. What do you guys see?
Are we looking for a mate? What's the idea here?
I gotta give you the answer. Come on.
I mean, if we're looking at this, honestly, the first idea that comes to mind is Queen takes F7.
Oh, a diva sack. Now, why is that? Why did you decide on that? Why? What was the idea
Oh,
behind?
because after actually, it's not necessarily a sacrifice. It's just a matter of winning in position. Because after
Yes,
that, you have this beautiful double check of what is that, knight
which is
G.
coming from where? Which is coming from where? Because a lot of times people say, "Well, you're just giving up a piece," but what do you see there? I
Because then
mean,
you have this beautiful knight check on G5 that gets the queen right back. So
all
then you
right.
get the pawn.
And okay? What else do you see? What else? Go deeper. Go deeper into it.
That's a good one, Dave.
Oh, you have a white squared bishop check too, which is pretty
Yes, you have
ugly.
a white square bishop
You
check
have
that
this
would be
beautiful
attacking
rook
f7.
position.
A
You got a
rook.
lot of stuff.
Always look at the long range pieces and see where they can go and attack the squares around the king, right? And then sometimes you got some pieces that are really not part of the plan, but they're aiming. And they're aiming at squares around the king. And what I'm talking about is that this rook is aiming in this direction. This rook's aiming in this direction, so he's definitely attacking these two squares. As Dave pointed out, this guy can actually go here and attack here. This guy's already attacking here. And then I can
Yep.
go either to that square or to this square. Dave said here because he wants to get the queen when the king goes here. And so, yeah, I guess the first move is the queen sacrifice. Diva sack right off the bat. Merry Christmas to
Merry
Andrew.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Here comes the queen sack.
There comes the queen sack. And the king must capture. Sometimes the king doesn't have to capture. In this case, the king must capture because otherwise it's a checkmate, right? Obviously it's not, but the king must capture. Now, what is the move? Think about it. And don't get greedy. After all, you're trying to either win material or get checkmate. And the goal is always to get checkmate. Look at the way the long range pieces communicate with each other. What square do they have in common? In other words, what square can both two pieces attack or three pieces attack all at once?
Now,
Because
if we're going directly for mate, we want to go knight to E5 double check Check from the knight,
Yes.
check from the rook. Correct.
Yes. What that does, it takes care of this square as well. It takes care of the exit. It takes care of this square and also takes care of that square. Now,
Mm.
look at this. The king now, and besides, now the rook has the whole file, and we have the bishop attacking right in here.
So
Does
the
that
king
make
only
sense?
has 2 squares, right?
The king only has 2 squares, guys, and let me show you where the king can go here and can go there. Those are the only squares the king can go,
And
and
they're
that's
both
why
equal, mate.
it's very important to when you're attacking. You plan your attack. You want to concentrate on the squares around the king. I mean, he could have gone. He could have very simply, man. He said it in his plan. Hey, this is the move right here. Double check. The king moves wherever he moves, and then I got the queen, and you would win the game for sure as well, right? But sometimes you're hungry, you want to go to the restaurant, you want this thing to be over, so you go for the quickest checkmate possible. And so this is the move. If he goes back here, Andrew,
Oh,
what is the move?
definitely rook to f8. Yeah,
Rook
checkmate.
to f8 because the knight's controlling this square, the bishop's controlling that square, so we're controlling all these squares. Now, the bishop is also protecting the rook, and the rook kills the king, and we have a back rank checkmate. Very nice, right? Now, if the king were to go up here, again, we have the rook attacking all of these squares. We have the knight attacking these 2 squares. We have the bishop attacking these 2 squares. And so, what do we need
Bishop
to do?
Bishop C4 checkmate.
The king is on a white square. Who attacks on white squares? The bishop attacks on white squares. So you simply
Mm.
move the bishop to here, and boom, we have a checkmate. And there it is. We have a checkmate. We surrounded the king with our pieces. Nothing can interfere, or capture the bishop. It's a beautiful checkmate. A
Yep,
good one
right in the middle of the board.
for the start, huh? Christmas Day, Diva Sack. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. Here we go. And white to move. This might be a variation of a puzzle we saw a few weeks ago or a couple of days ago. I don't know.
Yeah, this looks like one
And
from 2 weeks ago. Yep.
yeah, hey, Alan, how's it going? This is a different Alan. This is an old student of mine, a Royal Knight. He is, yeah, gotta love the Diva Sack. Alan, you are awesome, man. So give us some more answers, Alan. Alan G. Not to be confused with Alan K. Alan K. That's so funny. So what do you think here? White to move.
We know that the pawn on h7 is pinned
Yes.
to the king.
Right.
So we got to work around the pin.
Yeah, use the pin whenever possible. Let's use the pin. Let's look at this. Yes, sir. Pop. All right, Alan. So, we always got to take advantages of the pins, man. The pins are awesome. Emmanuel, ¿qué pasa, Emmanuel? Saludos to everyone. Merry Christmas to those. These are very informative classes. Thank you, Emmanuel. We'll see you in about an hour for the show on Talk Show Central RTV style. We're gonna have a Christmas show on that particular show. Anyway, so what do you think here? What should we do here? What is move number 1?
Rook G5, G6 check.
Rook cannot move. I'm sorry.
Not rook, sorry, knight G6 check. Sorry, not rook.
Oh, okay.
Rook
The knight to G6. Yeah, I figured it wasn't the rook because he said G6 check.
Yeah,
So
G6
yeah,
check.
the pawn cannot capture because of the pin. When you pin a piece, guys, let me backtrack it and give you a little bit of background here. When you pin a piece, a pinner is a queen, a bishop, or a rook, and they attack a smaller a small value piece, a smaller piece, and behind that piece in the immediate line is a stronger value piece. In this case, the pawn is smaller than the king, than the black king. The king is considered the treasure, the pawn is considered the pin piece, and the queen is the pinner in this case. The pawn, being the pin piece, loses 4 powers. He cannot move, he cannot capture, he cannot protect either a piece or a square, and he cannot defend the area. So the pin piece always loses that. So that's why when you're in a pin, guys, move your treasure, block the pin, or attack the pin or some, yeah, and even attacking the pin or something doesn't work. But yes, this is the move. Very good. The bishop cannot capture. The king cannot go here. So the only move the king has is G8. What is the
In
follow?
fact, in like the other puzzle, which I believe was almost the same exact position, then you sack the queen on G7.
Yeah.
Exactly. Another diva sack. Look at this one, Alan. This is another diva sack. The queen is controlling the squares around the king. Plus, the queen is protected by the knight. The king cannot capture. The king is trapped on G8. The only salvation for the black king is the rook. When the rook goes here, what is the move, Andrew?
Oh, it's a
Oh, wait a
knight.
minute, wait a minute. Look at this. We got it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go,
There you
Alan.
go. Thank you, Alan.
Alan got that shot. And we have a beautiful, mighty, mighty knight checkmate, man. Am I being too loud? It starts with the diva sack, and you end up the checkmate with the mighty knights. How about that for a Christmas puzzle? Notice something, guys. Dave said this looks exactly like a puzzle we did a couple of weeks ago, and it's true. Guys, if you want to become stronger at chess, the more puzzles that you do, the more patterns you're going to keep in your brain, your database. And when you see these positions on the board, man, you're going to go, man, I know the answer to this. I know what to do here. Because sometimes you have a lot of options. Remember in the previous puzzle, Dave wanted to go for the queen fork, the royal fork of forking the king and the queen, but there was a better move. And sometimes that's what you think. That's why we have candidate moves. You have one choice. What do I get with that choice? You have another choice, another candidate move. What do I get with that choice? And then you might have a third one or a fourth one and all that. But every time you move, consider 3 candidate moves and then move on from there. Very, very cool, man. Excellent. All right, let me put this one back, and then let's go to our next one here. Man, we're moving right along. All right. Now, this is white to move. What did I do here? White to move. This is from a study, as it says, from the
Oh, this
Spanish
is
game.
easy.
All right.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's see if
Queen
Alan gets an
H8
answer.
check.
Huh? Where?
Queen H8 check.
Queen sack. A diva sack.
Yeah.
It's Diva Sack's Christmas Day, right? A check. The king has one move. What is the answer?
Then you
Well, Alan gave us an answer here. Yeah. All right. Alan says this. Diva Sack, king takes queen, and
Back
rook
rank.
goes in there, and we got a back rank checkmate because the little pawn is controlling the king. Yeah, I knew what you were talking about. Now, let's see here. Now, the other one. Okay, so I went this one, and the king goes here. What is the checkmate here?
Queen G7 mate.
Queen G7 mate. You got the sandwich going down here. The king gets stuck in between the 2 parallel lines of the rook and the queen. The queen is protected by the little pawn. The queen's got nowhere to go. Super, super cool. It's Diva Sack Christmas. I like that.
We on that show?
All right, Alan. Yeah, Alan says D8, but he probably meant that other one. All right, cool. Let's go to the next one here. All right, this is a black to move. Black to move and win. What do you guys see in this one? It's a little harder. Let's see what you guys see. Think about it. See what you see, and let's check it out.
How many moves?
That rook is
I
pinned.
don't know. Figure it out.
The white rook is pinned to the king. So,
Yeah, we got a pin. You got to analyze what you got.
So like something. Okay, yeah. So
you're looking at sacrificing the rook, correct?
yeah, with the check with the bishop or the
Correct.
queen.
That is correct.
So what
That
do
is
you
one way.
think? What do you think? Look at everything. Always look. Alan says. A rook
that's one way.
sacrifice. That's one way.
That's
All
one
right.
way.
So king captures. What is the move?
Bishop captures check.
Yes, bishop captures
Free
check.
queen.
The
There
king
you go.
goes. Let's say the king goes here. What is the move?
Pop the queen. So
Look, what is the? Yeah, that's the move. Yeah, you couldn't go check because the queen goes there. So, and did we win?
We are on
yeah,
our way.
zero material, but
We want material, right? So that's the answer. Now let's end this. Let's end this. Let's say the
ending it is easier.
yeah. Let's see. That
So
was
let's go
easier.
back.
Let's say this knight goes here. Let's continue with this one. You already got the answer, Alan. Good job. So what is the move here? What would the move
Oh,
be
check.
here?
Queen
Queen
check on
E8 mate. So
E1.
Where?
Yeah, E1.
Queen check on E1.
Queen check,
It's mate.
E mate, checkmate. We're controlling the squares around the king, right? So, yeah, this was really easy. Okay, now, all right. So Alan says that this is the move. Now, what happens if the king does not capture?
Then queen takes the rook mate.
Queen takes rook, checkmate. Yeah. These are Alan. These lessons are priceless. Awesome information. Yeah. Thank you, Ellen. Okay, what else can you do? Okay, so let's say he goes here, he goes there. What do we say? We said check, right? No, we said check, discover check. And let's say he goes to the corner. What is
You
the
just take the
move?
queen.
You still take the queen, right?
Yeah.
And you still get the same information. All right. So let's say he goes into this position now.
Then queen F check.
Queen F
F1.
check. The knight blocks.
Yep.
What is the move?
H5.
H5. Okay, cool. H5. One square. Okay, let's see. He's got to. Let's say he moves the pawn because he really doesn't have much to move. What is the move?
H6. Just keep
H6.
pushing.
Yeah. King can't move. Let's say rook moves. Maybe there.
Oh.
Oh, I like this. Bishop to G3.
Bishop to
By
G3.
rook. By rook.
Bishop to G3. Okay, the
Bye.
rook's blocked. Right, very good. Was there a better move there? What do you think? Well, maybe this one, but no, I like this one. This one's cool because it blocks the path of the rook to come back to help. Right, Dave?
Nope, you could just push the pawn again, too. You could just push H3. That is
All
another
right,
option.
H3 because why?
Just
Because if he
creating
pass
pressure,
moves, we
pushing
have
it,
checkmate,
pushing.
right? You give him a give and
well,
he can't
there
take
you
it.
go.
And he can't take it, right? So, okay, so now he doesn't have a square to land. He's got to stay there. So he pushes the pawn. What is the move?
Oh, you just push your pawn.
Push the pawn again because now you're threatened here, right? Okay, so this guy's stuck. Pawn takes pawn. What is the move?
Double
Bishop.
queen.
Nope, no double queen.
What's the move?
You could double queen, I guess. It's not the end of the world.
Well, double queen is rook takes. That's the answer. That's the
Yeah,
answer.
but then you check.
Queen, right?
Yeah,
Rook
check on
takes,
H3.
and then
And then me on H3, right.
we got a checkmate, right? Does that make sense, guys?
Now
That
go
is-
back to the initial puzzle. There actually is something else you missed.
All right, cool. Let me see. Okay, so Alan
So
said,
let's not take. Let's not take it all.
all right, let's not take. So what would be the move?
Queen.
Check.
Mm-hmm.
All right, queen check, rook blocks,
Yep. Bishop takes the pawn.
bishop takes the pawn. All right, check.
Then move out of the way.
All right,
But
and
unfortunately, you lose a piece, so you can't do it.
yeah.
It'd be nice.
Does it work? Oh no, now you lose the
Unfortunately
queen.
not, because right.
Yeah, and then this guy goes here, and this guy's got to go, and yeah, no, wrong one.
Right. So unfortunately, you can't.
No.
But
And the thing is that sometimes a sack, you know, what's the purpose of a sack? A purpose of a sack is to
it's
expose
to win the game
king.
or win material or win position.
Right.
Those are the three.
I like to explain it this way. The purpose of a sack is to expose the king to more checks. And you're right. Sometimes it's to win material, and sometimes it's to win position. You know, and the other thing too is to gain initiative. Because it's like you throw a punch and boom, 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 boom. That's sag and boom, 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 boom. You know, you keep going and you knock him out. And so, yeah, very good. All right, so let's go to the next one. Good job, Alan, on answering that one. We're getting the rook sack. And believe it or not, sometimes that's the move, All right. Oh, white to move. Let's hunt the king. It's a king hunt. What's going on with this one? Hey, Erica, how's it going? Erica Dominguez. Merry Christmas. What's going on with this puzzle here?
The bishop is going to reveal check on the king if he goes to any of the dark squares.
All right, cool. So we got the bishop that's attacking all this diagonal, right? What else do we got? We got the queen.
You have a
Queen's
beautiful
attacking
pawn
here.
push, check.
Queen's
You have
attacking
a
there.
pawn push. You have a pawn push for check.
We have a
On
pawn
F5.
push for check. What can the rook do? Well, the rook can capture, check.
Oh,
the
I
rook
like the
can go
pawn.
here, check. We might even have a rook lift. Maybe. I don't think so.
Or you can have a rook sack for mate. That's a possibility too.
What is the move then?
So the correct move is rook g5 check.
Rook g5 check. It allows the bishop to become a little bit stronger. So now we're taking care of this square. We're taking care of this squares, and the king is forced to go here. What is the follow-up here? Look at the board. Mate in 2. Mate in 2.
Oh, then I like. Okay, well then.
Queen sacrifice on F. Queen F8 check.
Yeah. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. And we have a check. The queen checks. The rook is protected by the pawn. And no one can. Well, if the rook blocks, obviously queen. I mean, even the bishop can checkmate. The queen can says, "Okay, bishop, take the checkmate. I'm sick of getting checkmates all the time." Or the queen can just take the checkmate, right? But at the same time, if the rook captures, more than likely the rook's going to capture. Then we have
the bishop G7.
The bishop G7 checkmate. Again, it took a diva sack. It took a sacrifice to, in this case, move a piece out of the way. Move a protector or a defender of the king. Let's look at that in slow motion. We got a check. The king is forced to go here. The rook is defending. We push him out of the way with this check. The rook is protecting these two squares. So there's no way we can win this game. But when we bring the queen here, the queen entices the rook to go away. And the rook is forced out of position, allowing the bishop to get into the square that we needed for the checkmate. So again, this was a sack. What do we call that? A clearing sacrifice?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Clearing sacrifice. We cleared the way for another piece to come in for the checkmate. Yeah. So great, man. So awesome little puzzle here. Again, it's diva sacks and, for different ideas. Okay, let's look at this next one here. This is white to move. See what you see here. White to move. What do you see here? Pieces are a little bit further away. So that might be a little bit on the hard side, but let's see what happens with this particular position here.
Oh, I like F4. Push F4, attack the queen.
F4, little pawn attacks big piece. Well, let's play it. Let's play it. Okay. The queen can move. Obviously, the queen can move. We have a check, but we're gonna lose it to the queen. So let's say, okay, pawn takes.
Now queen check on D4.
D4 check. Okay, king moves away. King can move here, right? Or king can go, or king can go over here, right? King can go over here and hide.
I like what you're trying to do, Andrew. I like the idea.
I was trying to think. I was trying to think more simple to complicate. Just not trying to do big things. Just do a pawn, simple pawn, something. Just
right.
Do
well, little pawn attacks big piece is a grandmaster move. Let's look at that. Little pawn attacks big piece is definitely a grandmaster move. There's also power behind it because the rook can go in there.
I wanted to clear the dark square.
Oh,
to
you
check the
were thinking
king.
this. You were thinking this.
Or that, it didn't matter. But I wanted to clear. I wanted to check the king with the queen, but I needed that pawn to go away. Yeah,
Yeah.
to open up the diagonal. That's all. Or push the pawn. Can I?
Well,
push, the queen
actually,
takes,
at this, you
but then
still have the
queen
pawn.
takes, right?
You have
Yeah.
this, and the queen takes. Then you have this. Oh no, you don't have that. It's not a pin. You don't have that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
here I think you're losing at this position because you
Oh,
take
for
king
sure, for
takes.
sure.
You're losing now.
You know, you're
for sure.
after this move right here, you're no, yeah, even after that move, you're totally
Yeah,
losing.
en passant isn't gonna save
Yeah.
you this time.
No, not at all. So it's definitely not the pawn move. But let's see what happens. Let's see if Alan's got anything here. See what happens here. What do you guys see?
What do you want to threaten the rook takes or something? I mean, do you want to take? What is is it a maiden something or is it a?
Nope.
You know, come on. We want to control the squares around the king, right? So these are the squares around the king. We want to control those 3 squares, and we want to check the dark square. And that's what we want to do, right? He's got the queen protecting. He's got a bishop protecting. The bishop's not too much because he only controls 1 square, but the queen can definitely move like a rook.
What about the idea?
Huh?
What about the idea of sacrificing on h4?
All right, h4. Okay, pawn moves. Very good. Okay, let's go with it. Queen capture.
Now Andrew's move f4 to follow.
All right, f4 to follow.
You can't take. That would be mate.
Yeah, that's mate, right? Boom.
Yes.
All right. So okay, so let's go here. Okay, he takes.
Queen take. Queen can't take.
No,
Yep,
queen
exactly.
can't take. Now, well, he doesn't have to capture. What if he simply goes?
I'm gonna hide.
He's got a checkmate here. Well, no, he's got to go here, right? He's got to go here to protect here.
Right.
So,
And then pretty. Yeah.
Well, that's a double check though. Right?
do we go double check?
Yes, it is.
Double check. He goes here. What's the move now?
Ooh, this ain't nice.
Come on, you're missing.
Oh,
it. You're
what
missing.
am I looking at? Take the pawn with the queen. Right?
Yeah, check, and
Yeah.
he's got to go. Maybe he goes here.
Yep. Then you come in with the queen check on, what is that, e6?
F4 check.
E6, F4.
And what?
Queen takes
F4 is not
queen.
bad. You don't want to take the queen. You don't take the queen.
Well, if you go F4, he's going to go bishop here. I mean, bishop's going to block here if you go F4.
Right.
Or do you go here, but he activates this guy?
Yeah, but you pop it though, so it makes
Yeah.
it interesting.
So what's the move here?
Well, I like E6.
I play
now.
e6. I play
All right,
queen
E6. Okay, let's say
They can push the pawn.
yeah, push the pawn, even give the bishop away. No.
I don't know about giving the bishop away.
Well, you're gonna lose. Well, yeah, you're right. You're not losing it. Okay, push the pawn. And you got no more checks.
Hmm.
You got a check, a queen sacrifice, and you got not.
Yeah, but you do have rook f3 though.
Rook f3 to go here to pin the queen. All right. Well, you still got this bishop coming in here. And then of course you can push the pawn. All right. So to that, let's say he can't go here. Oh, maybe here.
Then you move the rook over.
Rook over, bishop moves. And you got no checks with the queen. You got no checks with the rook. It's over, right?
No, there's ideas. You gotta get creative, right?
You got this way, and there's this guy here. Now I think Black has too many good moves now.
You have to play king h2 and hope for the best.
King h2. Okay, king h2 would be. Well, what can king h2 do? What can we do? Well, can we develop?
No, you cannot.
Why?
Because I just take that knight.
Well, bishop takes.
Oh, no, I can't take the knight. Yeah, that's
Bishop
true.
takes but well, I mean, if you take that way, he takes. You have this and you got this, and it'll be two rooks. Plus, I have a pass pawn.
Or then you got knight. What is that? Oh, you got to get the knight in the game.
Yeah, I got to get the knight in the game.
So no. The other knight, knight B. What is that? Knight B3.
All right, knight b3. And what's the move? We need a knight move, right? I guess we need a knight move, and we don't have. We have a check here. We have a check there. Well, maybe we'll just bring the knight here. I don't know. Black's looking pretty good here. King's safe.
Then maybe you just. Ooh.
There's no checks. There's no checks here, guys.
No, but you have to. Ooh.
Yeah, you're losing
You
because
might have to put. Yeah, then you have to put. G6,
yeah, you're losing because these guys.
Yeah, but you
Okay,
have to put G4.
this guy's
though.
cancel out, right? This guy's cancel out. This guy's cancel out, and this guy's cancel out, and then you
But
got
you
a
have to
pass
put
on.
G4 though.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
and you
just
got to
too
put
much.
G4.
You have an extra rook, so yeah, and an extra piece. You have an extra minor piece and an extra major piece. So you're losing here.
Yeah,
So
but
no, that's not the move. So think about it. What is the move here? Got one that's done.
Are you thinking of getting grubby? Because you could just go after the B pawn if you wanted to get grubby.
Well,
That's
yeah.
what I was suggesting.
Well, yeah.
Threatening
What
the
is
rook.
that? Isn't that a fork? Well, no, not really. But you know, you force the rook to move, and then you have a check here.
That's the only thing I could see that starts an initiative that isn't a pawn push attacking the queen that gives it away immediately. You know,
Right.
Like that's winning a pawn, gaining tempo, and threatening two pieces at once, right? So I mean, that's the best initiative I could come up with without like diva sacking.
Yeah, yeah. That's the move, guys. Because now he has to move maybe here,
Yeah, under the protection of the bishop, right?
and then what do?
Now you could freely check him on the dark and light squares. Yes.
Well, you
right?
can't check here, but you could check here,
Yes.
right?
Or
So-
Yeah, but then the
or
rook-
even
or
all
you
the way
can
on the
take the
A,
pawn.
on A.
or
on
can we
A.
take the pawn,
You can too. Yeah, you could clear out the whole left side if you wanted to.
right? And then we got these two squares.
That's
I mean,
true.
we got these two, and now this is a pass pawn. Remember, I mean, the only thing that we're losing the game here, White's losing the game, but these guys are out of pocket. They're not in the game, so we need to gain some advantage. And the only way to gain advantage is to create a pass pawn. Right? I mean, now we got two different checks and two different colors. The queen can now come back here if she needs to protect the king.
Yeah, what you wish is that you could check the king while also making him leave the bishop and attacking the bishop at the same time. Like
Right.
Well,
All the pieces are protected. All the pieces are protected.
All right, now what's this?
All
is what
the
Lee
pieces
just
are
asked.
protected.
Keep going. What are we doing?
What do we do here? Okay, black. Now, boom. Now comes the knight, and now the rooks are attacking here. The rooks are attacking these three squares,
Yeah, we might lose a knight now. Yeah,
and he's also attacking 7th rank. Boom, boom.
Ugh.
We got boom, boom. Well, the knight got activated. He activated a new piece, so I don't think that's the move. What else? But I think that gives you hope, right? That gives you hope. So let's go back with this one. Okay, pawn takes, right? Pawn takes.
Mm-hmm.
So we cannot take the queen.
No.
What about pawn push?
Yeah, I like that one. But then the queen takes, right?
Yeah, and the
Correct.
rook takes
Then the queen
pawn
takes
doesn't,
is no good.
and the rook takes pawn does not work either. Okay, so what
Yeah.
about this little check here?
It's decent.
Okay,
That's what I-
if queen blocks,
Then you
What's
just
the
take the
move?
pawn, check.
take the pawn check. He's got to move here. Oh, he's got to move there. What's the move now?
Check again, but on a
Check
light
again.
square, right?
Right, and he's got to go here. What's the move now?
Then push the rook up one.
All right, push the rook, attack the queen. The queen has to go here or here.
Yeah, you're gonna try to scare.
I mean, he
scare
can even.
piece
Oh
it.
no, but look, the queen can't go here because the rook just takes everything. So this is the only move. So now what's the move here?
You can check again, yeah.
Check. Queen
Yep.
has to capture.
Yep.
He goes there. Are we winning the
And
game
then
now?
you pop the pawn.
Take the
No, not
pawn.
necessarily, but you're doing well.
Oh, we can bring the knight. We can bring the knight into
Yeah,
play.
please
Bring
get
in
that
the
knight
knight.
out the corner.
We can
Bring
go
the
here.
knight out of
We
the
go there, or we go
You
here
go to the
to
B
go there.
file. You go to the B file,
Yeah,
right? Because you move
b-file,
closer
right?
to the middle.
Okay, rook attacks.
Okay, doesn't he just lose a piece then? Yeah, right there. Yep.
Right there, and he's got to go here. Well, no, he doesn't have to go there. Let's say he goes back here.
Take the J pawn. Scare him out.
Anything else?
No, trust me. Take the J pawn.
Knight blocks the. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
no, you don't want to.
You're going here, right, Andrew? That's what you're
Yeah,
thinking.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, but
That
you
works
don't-
too. Either one.
You don't want to lose the knight because you're just lost. Like I remember this. Like you can't mate with just a queen. So don't.
He
lose the
remembers
knight.
my lesson and when you're winning trade. So yeah, okay. So he has to develop, right? Because the check doesn't do him any good, or does it?
No, check's no good. It's bogus.
No,
Correct.
because he doesn't have this check because of the knight. So he has
Exactly.
to develop the knight. All right. So what do we do? Take the pawn because we don't have
Take the
check.
F pawn. Take the F pawn. Correct.
All right.
Keep
He goes.
progressing.
Okay. He's got this. Maybe he goes there.
Wow.
Ooh, I don't know.
This is a spider web now. Yeah.
All right. Maybe he goes there. I think maybe that's stronger.
Yeah.
Now you block with the knight.
All right, now you block with the knight, okay? Because now you got here and you got there for checkmate, possibly there. All right, so let's play. He takes.
Yep.
Then take back, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, he can't do that one. He can't do that one because of this.
No.
Guy's like, whoa, mama.
All right, so what's his move? Okay, maybe he. He can't move the
No.
knight either.
He has to slowly unravel his.
All
own
right, there it
pieces.
is. He's got the bishop out of the way. So push the pawn.
Oh,
We're
geez.
getting to. We're getting to it, man. Maybe here, but he's got nothing. He's got to wind up protecting, and we not winning the game. We wind up winning the game. That is the answer, guys. Wow, amazing. That
Merry
is the
Christmas.
answer. Right. Wow. So, guys, even in a losing position, you must think to find the best move. Now, if you're in a losing position, the other way to think is, okay, let me find a draw. Better a half point than a big old zero. Better a half point than a big old zero. And sometimes a draw might get you into the trophies, because it's a point ahead. So it just depends. Plus, it might get you rating points because if you're playing a stronger rated player and you're a lower ranked player and you draw a higher ranked player, guess what? You're gonna get some rating points. I think Dave, you were in a tournament last week and you beat two higher rated players and you drew a master, right?
No, I wound up losing the game to the master, but it was in a time crunch.
Okay. But you beat two higher rated players anyway. And I think you drew one. You said you drew one against a higher rated.
I actually wound up losing to the 2400, and then I withdrew from the tournament.
Okay, but so you got some rating points, right? You got some rating points. And so
that ain't much, but I'll take it. Take what you can get.
Hey, sometimes in tournaments, man, what do you say? 5 or 10 points. Hey, that's good. You're getting closer, little by little.
This is how I look at it. If you gain even one rating point, you're moving in the right direction.
Yes, that is that is so true. Even if you get one rating point, you're definitely moving in the right direction. And it's all about your goals, man. It's all about your goals and what you want to do. And that's why I always tell my students, let's set some goals. Let's set some goals. And Alan knows because Alan was one of my students when he was in high school at Gladys Porter High School down in Brownsville, and he knows. I preach goals like crazy, man.
And remember, in about a week, you're going to be setting new goals for the new year.
Well, you better be setting them already, man, because this week will go flying like crazy. Today is
Oh,
Christmas. We're a week away from New Year's, so guys, start writing your goals down.
oh, I
What do
my
you have in
goals aren't
mind to
related
do?
to chess at the moment.
Well, you
My
have.
only
Go ahead.
I'm too busy working on my master's degree. I don't really have a lot towards chess wise. Yeah.
Well, you have. I always tell my students, you got chess goals, you got academic goals, you got sports goals, you got goals. Well, young kids sometimes not too much goals in life, but maybe goals in maybe learning something, maybe learning to play a guitar, maybe learning to play the piano, maybe maybe the goal is to maybe read a book, an extra book or whatever. Work on your vocabulary, work on your timetables depending on the grade, so there's always
Right.
something to achieve, and it all starts with the goal. It is said that the journey to wherever starts with the first step,
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
and
Exactly.
so and that's what we need to be planning for. So great.
Yep.
Andrew, what's up with you, man? What are you up to these days?
I'm at my parents' house, and we just had dinner for Christmas. Get together
Awesome.
and all that.
Cool. And so, wow, great. Yeah, I'm glad you're there visiting with your parents. It was one of these where, let me say some waves to some people here up in hi there, Michelle. How's it going? I was going to send you because I figured you guys were partying. Minerva Diaz, who's running for Hidalgo County Judge. Hey, a big shout out to you, Claudia.
Oh, always
How's
good.
it going? Raymond, he's a coach at Hannah now. He's a swimming coach. And who else do we have watching here? Oh wow, man, we got some people watching. Hey, it's good that we're sharing it with other pages because we get some more people watching this. So, guys, what else? Well, let's go over a game, man. Let's see here. Let's go here. Let's hit analyze sport, and let's go over a game. Let me pull out one of my books here, so I don't have any games memorized, or rather learned. That's a shame, right? All right. Well, let's look at the Sicilian Grand Prix attack. I think that's what we were doing that the other time. No, we didn't. Yeah, I think we were doing that. So let's move into another one. Um, let's look a little bit about initiative and coordination here. So let's look at an old game here. This happened in 18 95, and we got a couple of big old time champions from back in the day. And we may go through the whole game. The game goes about 34 moves before Black resigns. Actually, White wins in game 35. So I guess we can go over the game as much as possible that we can with the time that we have left. So here's the move, guys. I guess I need to share this, right? All
Yeah.
right. So it would work if I share it. There we go.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring, right? So here we go. I got the puzzle right in front of me here. And so we got E4, Black does E5, and we got a double king pawn opening. Knight develops to F3, attacking the pawn in the center. The knight comes in and attacks. Yeah?
Yeah, the wrong tab though. Look at the.
What?
I don't see the active board that you're doing unless you're not.
Oh,
showing
okay,
it.
cool. Yeah, you're right.
Put
Hold
my
on.
phone down for the side here. Get back
Yeah,
on the
hold
road.
on. And let me stop sharing and let me bring it up again. And let me start again. Thank you, Andrew.
No, you're fine.
I think what I did is I moved it. I moved my board and it stayed behind. All
Yeah,
right,
that's
so let me
fine.
share. That's probably what I did. I had it on my TV, and so I guess I wanted to put it right in front of you, and I can't. Okay, so let's go here. Hold on. E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight C6, and we got a double king pawn opening. No big deal. Obviously, the best move here is Bishop C4, or you can go Bishop to B5, playing the Ruy Lopez. But this guy wanted to go Bishop C4, attacking the
Yeah, I can say
we
Bishop
split
C4 has always
F7,
been my
right?
move.
right? And of course, bishop to c5, also attacking white's weak square, which is f2, right? F2 is coming in there. And so here is we call the Gioco piano, right? And so the best move is c3. The idea here with c3 is to attack d4 because the pawn wants to go to d4 and take control of the center. You always want to have at least two pawns. Well, you always want to have two pawns in the center, and that center being the D
Ideally.
file and the E file. Yeah, and it's hard to create this position, believe it or not. That's why it's the position that grandmasters look for. The knight
Mhm.
develops on the other side. Again, all pieces are inside the sub center, right? All pieces are inside the sub center. All pieces are attacking the center, right? All pieces are attacking the center. All of them are attacking the center. Even the pawns are attacking the center, even this little pawn. And so everything's about these four squares. If you can't control the center, if every move you do in the open does not control the center, yeah, it's not going to be a good move. How's it going, Alan? You doing all right? Alan from Tennessee is just joining us. Alan is a master. And so let's continue here. And let me hit that. And of course, since you played c3, the idea is to protect the d4 square. There is the push, the d4, and white has established a very strong hold on the center. One of the things that I teach my students is that when a pawn pushes in the center, you better capture. If not, that pawn is going to be going to be very, very strong. So the pawn
Oh yeah,
takes
too
the
much
pawn,
capture.
the pawn takes the pawn, right? And of course, when they capture your piece, what do you do? What do you do when they
You
capture your
capture
piece?
back.
You capture
capture-
back,
Capture
right?
back.
You
You know,
capture
right.
back. Boom,
Stand
you
through.
capture back, and that's where the move is, right? And so now, I lost my place here, but I think the move is there it is. But and so this guy, this pawn, little pawn attacks big piece. The piece has to move to a better square. And in this case, sometimes he moves back to b6, but in this case, he creates a check here. Now, is this a good check or a bad check? What do you think? Is this a good check or a bad check? What do we see? What do we think here? Good check or bad check? Any idea? Well, it could
I
be
would
good.
say
It could be,
I would
huh?
just say that would be a bad check because it would allow me to develop.
Yeah, it allows you to develop. When a check allows to develop or a check is forced to push back, it's a bad check. A good check is a check that wins tempo, a check that's going to stay in its square that it's just conquered, or a check that's going to win material, or the check that leads to checkmate. You're like when you're hunting the king, check, 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 checkmate. Or the check that leads like in the sacrifice, a check with a sacrifice and then checkmates like we saw in our puzzles. The diva sacks were all checks. It all created temple. It was a forcing move. And so the best way, well, this guy has two moves. He can block with a lot of things. He can block with a bishop to attack. He can block with a knight, which would not be the best move because he's moving the same piece twice and he's underdeveloping the piece. He can block with a knight at two different squares, right? And of course, he can block with the queen, and that would be like terrible. But that's an option. And
Would
so
would you want to if you so white would naturally want to block with the knight because of the I mean
because
because of
the bishop has other adventures to go after, basically.
because white wants to keep the pieces on the board to keep the attack going, right?
Right.
If you give the bishop up as a defender, then they take and now you lose control of the dark squares and your queen has to do the job of that, right? And then
Yes.
if you block with the knight, nobody really wants, unless they're doing the Nimzo or something, to take
Yeah.
the knight immediately with the dark square, right?
Well, black's going after this pawn here, and so that's the idea. Boom, and this bishop pins the knight, and that's okay. But now the rook has a little bit more freedom to come into the middle because the knight's no longer there, right? And so to this move, instead of capturing the pawn, black simply pushes aggressively into the center. All right. So what is the move here? Again, when a pawn pushes in the middle, what do?
Take it.
Capture. We capture
Take
the
it. You have
piece.
to take it. Yeah.
And the knight takes, and again, if the bishop takes, the queen's gonna come into the action. We get the queen into the middle, and black would have a super game. So what is white's move here? What do you think is white's move here? Those of you that are royal knights out there, you've seen this game before, huh?
You can You could castle. I would probably just you could defend. You have options.
You can
Bishop
push the
blocks.
pawn. You can defend. You can move
No.
the queen here, c2, coming out this way. But
That's true. You could do that.
what does theory tell you here? What does theory tell you? See, if you play
Theory
based
always
on
tells
this,
me.
go ahead.
Theory always tells me to just take it and then castle.
Right? Well, the thing is this. If you follow theory, you're always going to get the answer based on theory. So do you have any problems here? What is White's problem in this case? He's under a pin. And so
Yeah,
I
big
said,
pin.
what did I say earlier? When you're in a pin, what do? We have the pinner, we have the pin piece, we have the treasure. When you're in a pin, move your treasure. So the answer here is castle, because you're moving the treasure, you're getting out, you're moving away from the pin, and you're protecting your king by castling, and you're moving the king to the corner, right, where you can only be checked or attacked by two different directions. When your king's in the middle of the board, you're going to get attacked from the sides, from the middle, and if the opponent gets back here, he can actually attack from 5 different directions. But with the king in the middle, at least you're going to get attacked from 3 different directions. When you castle, you can only get attacked from 2 different directions. So castle.
Yeah, and also he can't go after the pawn either if he tries. If he tries to go after the pawn, it has a disastrous effect with it.
Yeah, definitely. Does that make sense? So that is the move. Very good. Now, the bishop moves back. In this case, the bishop moves back here to e6 because he immediately starts the attack. This is one thing you guys have to do. When the king moves, you got to pursue the king. You got to move your pieces long range. It's like you're moving your canyons. Your canyons are shooting this way, and the king has moved this way. You move your canyons. And aim on at the king. So
yeah, but you can't play back there though. You drop a piece.
Yeah, but that's what he did. Well, if he goes here, yeah, he's got a sacrifice here coming up later on, right?
Oh,
so that's no. I'm sorry, I moved the wrong bishop.
Yeah, you're saying you can't move that drop a piece.
It was this one first. My
right.
bad.
I was confused there for a second.
Yeah, I read it wrong. Okay, so now the bishop develops. What does White need to do? He needs to develop. He already developed 1, 2, 3 pieces. He needs to develop the 4th piece. He already castled. So his next move is maybe bishop to g5, attacking the queen, hoping the pawn will move so that this diagonal will open up. Of course, this guy's not going to do that.
Nice.
So what does he do? He moves the bishop back, and sometimes you got to retreat your pieces to come back and protect your king. That's what it's all about, guys, protecting your king.
It's not doing what it used to do. It was pinning a piece. Now it's not pinning, so it's no need to be there anymore, right?
So the idea, yeah, that's right. It goes to a new adventure. It seeks a new mission, right? That kind of deal. So bishop takes bishop in the middle, right? In the middle of the board. Bishop takes back, and believe it or not, the knight takes back. The knight takes. Oops, what's the move here? The knight takes, and then of course the queen takes. And all of that happened really quick, except that now this guy takes, and the knight takes back because he doesn't want to lose the privilege of castle. And we have that position. So what do you think is next?
Pin.
Rook with who?
The knight.
All right. Now, what is it that you want to do with your rooks?
Open
you
files.
You want to connect them. You want to connect them, right? So what's the best move? Queen, connecting the rooks.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Queen, and also protecting here in the middle. Now, he's also setting up a battery. And he's setting up rook to c, attacking this pawn later on in the game. This is a lovely game, by the way, guys. You can find it. All right. So queen goes back to protect, and notice it seems like black has not developed anything. he's back to his setup, right? And so what is White's next move? Well, the knight can go here into the middle, but have we activated all our pieces?
No.
So what is the job of the knight? Come into the center, create force. What's the job of the queen? Come into the center, attack in many different directions. What is the job of the rooks? Find the open file and get to the 7th rank. So the move is the rook at A goes to C and attacks C7, which is on the 7th rank. Does that make sense, guys? And so here we go. The pawn immediately moves, and he's protected by the pawn, right? So what do we do next? Where do we want to go? We want to get our rook to the 7th rank. Who's in the way? This pawn's in the way. So we push the pawn up, right? It's a very powerful move. Now, the idea behind this push is not so much to get rid of the pawn, but to attain this square. The pawn was here. Now the knight says, can I borrow that square? The pawn says, sure, I'll just sacrifice myself and the knight can come into this square. And so that's the whole goal. The key captures and the knight goes into a very strong position at d4. And again, he's attacking some very key squares in the center. The knight on the 4th rank is as strong as a bishop. And since there's no bishop on the board, he's doing an excellent job here. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
What happened here? Oh, this pawn pushes. Okay, this pawn pushes, right? This pawn pushes up. And we're missing a move here, guys. But at this point, this guy goes into this square here. And the rook at h attacks in this position here. Anyway, guys, I missed a move somewhere, guys. I'm sorry I missed a move. But you can see that right from the opening, we got into a very good position. And who is winning the game here? White. Why? Because his pieces are connected. King safety. Who's winning king
White?
safety? White is winning king safety. Who has better pieces in better squares?
White.
White. Who's got better pawn structure?
White.
White, because the isolated pawn makes it 3 pawn islands, even though it's a pass pawn. So maybe that one the argument might be, well, black has a pass pawn, but black has 3 pawn islands, white has 2 pawn islands. But the activity of his rooks gives him a very strong position. Plus that knight on e6 is totally super strong. Does that make sense, guys? Super cool, guys. Well, that was a good game right there. Let's go through it again really quick. We'll just go after like this, just the beginning part. Again, the knight develops. That guy develops. Bishop attacks the weak square. Here we go. Here we go. Develops. The bishop goes here. And we have Zoko Piano coming up. Attack the center with d4. Pawn takes. Bishop goes check. And we block with the knight. The pawn attacks the center. When a pawn pushes in the center, always capture the pawn, right? So pawn takes, knight takes, and we don't want to take here. If we take, the queen's going to come here. See, we take here, the queen comes and black's totally winning the game now. Or he would be a very strong position. So instead, when there's a pin, guys, move your treasure. So he moves over, and the bishop, Ron Bishop here, it's this bishop that comes into play, right? And then we continue the game. Attack, and he moves over, and boom, there's an attack here in the middle. And here we go. Apply pressure. Apply pressure. The queen goes back. Open file for the rooks. Guys, if you just know how to move your rooks, guys, you're going to win a lot of games because the rooks are strong in the middle games. The rooks are strong when they get into the open file, especially if they can reach the 7th rank where they can eat the buffet of pawns, man. Especially if they bring their friend over. They have a party up there eating all those delicious pawn tamales. Pawn tamales. Hey, I just created a new term, pawn tamales. So yeah. So anyway, guys, let me continue here the game. He pushes to protect, right? And there's the move. He takes, the knight takes the center square, and this game is in total favor of white. And of course,
and White's knight can always block. White's knight can always block the passed pawn.
And look at what the knight is also doing. The knight is not letting the king castle.
Yeah,
remember, you cannot castle if you're going to cross a square that's under attack. Plus, look at this rook. The rook can go to 8 to the 7th rank, protected by the knight, attacking this whole deal
That
in
rook
here.
is stopping the king from castling, isn't it? Right there, that rook is as well as the
This knight,
knight, right?
this knight,
And the rook, because
and
that's
the
where the
rook.
king is going to land.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna land. So he's only placed to castles this way, but he first has to get rid of the knight. So quite black has very, very strong initiative in this situation, guys. So guys, this is the way you should play your games. You know, because when you don't, when you don't, wrong one. It's not going to work for you guys. Does that make sense? When you don't,
yeah.
it's just not going to work. Um, so Dave, Dave's hunting for something. I don't know. He's on a scavengers uh, uh, game all by himself.
He's grabbing more textbooks for his
Yeah,
studies.
yeah, he's
Definitely.
trying to. He's yeah, and Dave owes us a chess lesson. So he said he was going to do a chess lesson for us, but let's see, maybe in the new year we can do that. Oh, he's getting some coffee. He's out of
He's
it.
got a, he's watering his plants. That's what he's
He's
doing.
watering the plants, and he's talking. If I could just do, he's if I could talk to the plants. What's your plant's name, Dave? I can't
Oh,
hear
he's
you.
you're
You're muted.
you're
You're muted. Oh, you're muted. I can see you right
Okay,
here.
is that better? Is that
Yeah.
yeah.
better?
What's your what your Andrew said you're watering your plants.
No, that's actually for the coffee.
I figured
I like
out.
see, like most chess players, I like my coffee on the darker side. I
Mm,
go with this Folgers Colombian. It's a little bit on the medium right now,
Uh-huh,
but that's what
uh-huh.
I've been
mm.
drink. That's what I've been drinking lately. Because most chess
So
players like water and coffee and orange juice. Those are like
hola
there's
Edu,
actually.
¿cómo te va? ¿Cómo te va, Edu? Edu is an awesome chess player. He plays here. He used to play with I think with the mini, but no, I don't know the club, but they work. They used to get together at the Jack in the Box over on 802 and man, where is it? And Paredes. But actually, they were part of my club that we used to hang out at El Club de Ajedrez Fuerte Torre. And so we used to all meet at Sunrise Mall, and then since I worked with Scholastics, then they branched out, and
Mhm.
another guy took over the club, and he was doing a really good job. So great, good job. Nice to have you here, Lu. Muy bueno que viniste al show de ajedrez de los Brownsville Royal Knights. So, man, Dave, any last words?
My last words, like you said, yeah. Open up your position, develop your pieces, and when you're white, attack, attack, attack.
Awesome. Andrew, what do you got for us?
When you're black and you're facing white, curl up in a ball and defend and defend and defend.
I like what he said. Defend, defend.
Mommy!
Put that brick wall up. Put the brick wall up and defend. Correct.
Let's go. Yuck! Yuck! It's more like blocking attack, blocking attack, blocking attack.
Mm.
I think yeah, you're right, you're right. But at some point, you remember black. Think of black as like a race, right? And like when we were kids, we said, okay, you give the guy a head start, So okay, he takes out 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, boom, and you chase right after him. So black is always behind because white takes the first move. So white's actually leading the game. And I tell my students sometimes when when nobody has moved in the game, when the board before you move the game, if you're playing white, you're winning the game. At that point, you're winning the game because you're gonna throw the first punch. It's like that's just the way it is, and so it's black's job to equalize the position and then
Yep.
take over, get to the draw position, and then take over and win the game and run away with it. And so, yeah, that's the thing is to create the fumble, the ball. They have the ball, create the fumble, grab the fumble, and run for a touchdown. That's black's position
Take
in a
advantage.
nutshell. Yeah, you got to take
Yeah.
advantage. So, guys, we will see you next week. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and the next time we'll see you, it'll be next year. I think it'll be next year. Let me
Yes, it
double
will.
check. It'll
It
be.
will be. It'll be next year. Yes.
It'll be actually. It'll be New Year's Day. So we'll see you on New Year's Day on 2022, and let us send us in. If, maybe some goals we can talk about and all of that. You know, we got we. I was gonna have this master from London, but she couldn't make it today. She could have made it on Wednesday, but I was really busy to set up a show, and I was gonna call you, Andrew, for that, and I was gonna call you too, Dave, but I couldn't set it up. So, but she was, hey, let's do it Wednesday, okay? So, keep that in open, So I don't know, maybe around 4 o'clock or something because of the time.
Yeah.
Europe, that kind of deal. So, guys,
They got
Merry
different time
Christmas.
zones. Yeah.
There are the different time zones. Yeah, you're right. So, Merry Christmas, and we wish you a Happy New Year. Well, we're probably going to wish you the Happy New Year on the chess show next week. So, Merry Christmas. Eat a lot of tamales. Eat a lot of goodies. And I hope Santa Claus was
get to
good
that
to
seventh
you.
rank.
And get those rooks to the 7th rank. Excellent. And Viva la Diva Sack.
Have a good
All right, I like it.
Good night, guys.